Wagons, buggies, and surreys used in the 1800s have been sitting on a Payson property for possibly more than a century now.
And now they are going up for auction this weekend. Fox 10's Nicole Garcia shows us the rare antique collection and how, if you want to, you can own a piece of Arizona history. Nicole.
Yeah, guys, the pieces are part of Arizona's history. They come from the Richard Bunger estate in Payson. Bunger was a fourth-generation Arizonan, an entrepreneur, and he owned a huge 1,200-acre ranch. Now, the area is known as Dutch Joe Ranch, and that's named after the guy who homesteaded the land back in the 1870s. And as you're about to see some of the buggies, the wagon wheels, and the equipment up for auction, well, they look like they were used during that era. Authentic pieces from the Old West, some likely around 150 years old, still in one piece, now up for auction in the 21st century, including more than a dozen buggies, wagons, and surreys.
Were they pulled by ox? Were they pulled by horse? It's so exciting to see this stuff and go, did this possibly come through the Oregon Trail?
The items came from the Dutch Joe Ranch in Payson. Dutch Joe was a loner and bootlegger who lived a mysterious life and died a mysterious death in the early 1900s. Legend has it he was found frozen on his property. R.E.B. Bunger, an entrepreneur, purchased the property in 2001, and he also bought several of these historical pieces in hopes of sharing it with the public.
It was collected to make a western town in Payson, and it just kind of didn't come to fruition.
Now, the rare Wild West pieces will be won by the highest bidder.
And these are very old bathtubs. I don't know about you guys, but I would not want to have to take a bath in this. And most likely it was located outside.
One of the more unique items on the auction block, this 1918 Dodge Brothers convertible. This car is almost 100 years old, and it still appears to have some of its original parts. Like, check out this horn. And even the engine appears to be the original. And it's not just antique vehicles. Several original carved wood pieces by Scottsdale artist D. Flagg are also being sold, including this piece that depicts Billy the Kid pulling over a stagecoach.
All of them are hand carved. There are no power tools used.
And bidders will also find some rare gems from the 1950s.
That's a vintage Coca-Cola cooler.
In all, there's nearly 700 lots up for grabs at the Avondale Auction House. The wagons could fetch hundreds of dollars each. The vintage car and the D. Flagg carvings, all expected to be sold for thousands of dollars. Pot of Gold Estate Liquidations in Avondale will be holding the auction this Saturday. Preview starts at 10 in the morning and the auction kicks off at noon. And you can also bid online. So far, they tell us they've received a lot of interest from buyers who are looking at the pieces for their personal collection to use as yard displays. And they've even heard from several Arizona resorts who are looking for some Old West items as decorations. I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.